Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's take a look at today's lesson objective. So today we will use the area model and number lines to represent mixed numbers with units of one, tenths, and hundredths in fraction and decimal form. All right, so over here we have 1 and 21 hundredths. So we're going to go ahead and represent that with our base 10 blocks or with our fraction tiles. So I use this model to represent 1 and 22 hundredths. So over here, we have one whole, right? So we have one whole, and now we need 22 hundredths more. So here is 10, 20, plus 2 more, so that's 22. So we have one whole and 22 hundredths. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and write 1 and 22 hundredths as a decimal. So I'm going to use some place value discs to represent this. So I have 1, 1, and then I have 22 hundredths. Okay, so now I've used place value discs to represent 1 and 22 hundredths. Now, I can go ahead and I can take these 10 hundredths and I can exchange them for 1/10. I can do the same thing for these 10 hundredths, and I can exchange them for another tenth. So now I'm left with 2 hundredths, 2 tenths, and 1 1. So 1 and 22 hundredths is written as 1. So we have our 1 here. We have our decimal point. So we have 1.22. So that's how we write 1 and 22 hundredths as a decimal. All right, and the last thing we're going to do is we're going to actually go ahead and take 1 and 22 hundredths and place it on our number line. So 1 and 22 hundredths is written like that as a fraction, and if we write it as a decimal, we see 1 and 22 hundredths. So I have my number line here. I'm going to start with 0, and then I'm going to label my whole numbers. Now, each of my tick marks these smaller tick marks represent 1/10. So I can see here that I have one whole, right? So I have one whole over here. And so I have one whole, but I still need 22 hundredths. Well, I know that 1/10 is equal to 10 hundredths. So I have 22 hundredths. So if I go to 2 tenths over here, I will have 20 hundredths. But if I go to 3 tenths, that's going to be too much. So I have 20 hundredths over here, but I still need 2 more hundredths. So it's not quite at 3 tenths. It's a little bit further away from my 2 tenths. So 1 and 22 hundredths is going to be placed right here. Because now I moved 2 hundredths of the way. Ooh, that's really, really small. So let me write this a little bit bigger. So we jumped from 0 to 1, then we jumped to 2 tenths, and now we're a little bit further away at 2 hundredths. So 1 and 22 hundredths is right here on our red spot. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and look over today's lesson objective. So today we used the area model and number line to represent mixed numbers with units of 1, tenths, and hundredths in fraction and decimal form. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope it was a helpful lesson, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.